Chaksurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Stotra Satchi Shriman Srila Bhaktivedanta, Narayana Gosvami Maharaj, to all of our Guru Varga, our disciplic succession of self-realized gurus, and to all the assembled devotees and lovely guests. Welcome to Vedic Tales, Instructive Pastimes Plus. Why is it a plus today? Because today we have a special opportunity. Today's my birthday. And although in Western culture, where I was born, it's like, okay, I get the presents. But in Vedic culture, Indian culture, which I'm part of now, it's okay, it's time for me to give, do good. So that's what's happening today. Right now we're at our printer Spectrum to print the art book that Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, Srila Narayana Gosvami Maharaj, requested me to do. And we also came back from our digital and canvas printers, that is SV Photograph, or is it Photographics? Photographics. So I'd like to, plus we went to our other printer, Spectrum, where we print our posters. So today we have lots of opportunities. Here, we just got this poster printed of Kunj Kirtan. So here comes the beautiful instructive pastime. The pastime is that Radha and Krishna were in the Kunj, sleeping throughout the night. Now it's Nishanta Lila, and Radha leaves Krishna alone in the Kunj to come out in the courtyard with her Sakis, and they're preparing a Sankirtan program for Krishna. Sankirtan means chanting, singing, playing musical instruments to glorify Krishna. So then Krishna got lonely, so he came out and sat at the lotus feet of Radhika. So then everybody started doing beautiful kirtan. And then Radha got tired, so she sat down, and then she noticed that her golden waist belt, her Pranaya Mekhala, which Krishna loves so much, was missing. So she thought, oh, my Sakis will joke with me if they see that my belt is missing. So with her glance, because there in the spiritual world, in Goloka Vrindavan, people speak books loads just by their glance. So she glanced at her Saki, Rati Manjari, and she said, oh, Saki, please save me from getting joked at by my other Sakis. Please go inside the kunj, or the cave where I left my belt, bring it back, and put it on in such a way that no one else can see. So she stood up and said, I'm just going to get some flowers. Of course, in this world, lying is a terrible thing, isn't it? Don't you hate when somebody lies? But in the spiritual world, it's worshipable, it's pure, it's eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. So she stood up and said, I'm just going to get some flowers. And she went and found the belt, and here, if you look closely, you could see the strings of the belt, and she's putting on the belt, and nobody's knowing. Lalita, Vishaka, all the Sakis, they just keep singing and dancing and playing their musical instruments. Only Rupa Manjari, because she knows when Radharani gives her glance, she knows exactly what Radharani's saying. And so she knows what's happening. Now, what's so instructive about that? what's instructive really came to me a couple of days ago when one devotee, her name is Sulochan, she saw a video of me explaining this picture, and then she realized by looking at the picture and hearing the description that, wow, this is the goal of life, to be in the spiritual world and to serve Radha and Krishna in this beautiful, festive way. And then she said, then I got realizations that all the petty arguments and petty things we do in this world are really of no consequence. So I stopped being disturbed by them, and I just started concentrating on my goal. Like suppose you're in a bus, and the bus is all sticky and hot, and people are shoving into each other, and you're standing holding on to the bus rails. But you're not disturbed at all because you're just thinking, oh, I'm going to my friend's house and we're going to have such a good time. So like that, therefore it's an instructive pastime. Okay. Then we also have the opportunity to have big, that's the poster. And here, coming from SV Photographics, we can make a digital print or a canvas print of any size up to 5 feet. So that opportunity is there as well. Okay, now if we could swivel over. I think many of you know about this famous Sevakunj painting, when Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana, first asked me to do this painting. He said, can you paint my heart? And then, so I did a big canvas, about 5 feet, and then he asked me to do the 4 famous manjaris who are serving them. So we have small posters of that, but now there's an opportunity to get these large custom size digital prints or canvas prints. Now this is a proof of the canvas prints that they make. And you could have them any size, digital or canvas, up to 5 feet, down to 1 foot. Okay, so I know it's hard to tell the difference between a canvas print and a digital print on your phones, but you'd have to see them in person. Okay, then, what else do we have? We have another instructive pastime. This is a poster made by Spectrum printers, and this is all of chapter 21, 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, called Venugit, or the Song of the Flute. And here's the instructive pastime. Every day, Krishna goes out cow herding. You know his name is Govinda, Gopala. He takes care of the cows with his infinite, unlimited cowherd friends and cows. This is Balaram. You all know Balaram. So, every day the gopis, they don't get to go cow herding. So they miss Krishna so much. They feel such intense separation and begin singing the glories of Krishna's flute playing. And they're feeling some envy that they don't get to go out and they're stuck at home. But an amazing thing, just like in the Bhagavad Gita, Sanjaya is speaking to Dhritarashtra about what's happening at the Battle of Kurukshetra 90 miles away. And he's seeing a television show live in his heart of what's going on. And the gopis, they're much more powerful than Sanjay. So every day they see with their bhava netra, their eyes of the emotions of their heart, they actually see and experience Krishna out there with the cows and calves and deer and parrots and so on, and Govardhan and Jamuna. So what happens is their meditation gets so deep and intense that they actually end up by their consciousness, and they're singing their Venugit. Like one verse is Akshan Vatam Palamidam Naparam Vidama Sakya Pasunanunive Shayatur Vayasya Vaktram Burjeta Sutayor Anuvenu Justam Yairvani Pitam Anuraksha Kataksha Moksha. For anyone who has eyes, the perfection of their eyes is to see Krishna with all of his friends and cows, glancing over everyone lovingly while he plays his flute. So, the gopis, that's one of their verses. Verses, no. They created the verses. And now those same utterances of the divine gopis headed by Sri Radha became the verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, Venugit. So they become so absorbed in their meditation that they end up where they're meditating on, in the forest. So now Krishna, he sees them in the forest. So he shares stealthy sidelong glances with Sri Radha. And Baladev and the elder cowherd boys, Baladev knows what's going on. But as you know, in Indian culture, the older brother is kind of like in Vatsalya Bhav, kind of like parental. So parental and Madhurya don't mix. So Balaram wants to get out of the way. So he's going forward with the other elderly cowherd boys. Not elderly, but older than Krishna. And so, but you can see that Baladev's eyes are looking back, means he knows what's happening. And all the younger cowherd boys, like Subal, Sridham, they're way back, and they're saying, "Oh Krishna, look at us, look at us." So that Krishna is in the middle, alone, and he's able to share sidelong glances with Srimati Radhika. And this gopi, maidservant, but of course in that realm there's no such thing as a maidservant. Radharani doesn't think, "Oh, these are my maidservants." She thinks, "Oh, these are my Sakhis, none different from my very own body." So this Sakhi, maidservant, she's holding on to Radha's waist, because Radha is in so much ecstasy, she may fall and faint. So she's holding her up by the waist. So if you want a poster, we have those. But if you want a digital print or a G-clay that goes any size up to 5 feet down to 1 foot, then those are available too. And let's see if we have anything else. Yes, we have, you can see we also have the regular small posters of Sevakunj, Gurudev's heart. Here's an example of a G-clay of Kunj Kirtan that was made by my godbrother in Canada, Rupa Raghunath, but they can do the same thing here in Delhi. By the way, you're probably hearing the honking in the background. That's because we're in Delhi at our printers, Samrat, to print the art book. And I just want to show you one more. That's in my computer bag. So, Rati, can you get right there in this computer bag? There's one more picture that we have a poster of from, no, not that. It's another one. Oh, we have so many. You can see 12 by 16 inch. What are these? Digital prints, right. Okay, and I'll take that as well. So this is just a proof from our digital printers. That's why there's no frame around them. One is Jai Sri, and one is Mahavishnu. And this also comes any size up to 5 feet as a digital print or a canvas print. And this is the same thing, Jai Sri, which is one of the 450 pages in the art book that will be coming out in a couple of months, because it takes a while to bind and ship and things like that. So all these digital prints and canvas prints, to ship them to foreign countries is very expensive. So this is pretty much for Indians. The posters will be sent to the West, but not the digital prints. And so this opportunity is mostly for you Indians all over India. And if any of you are interested in any of the above mentioned items in any number, then you can contact my associate, Vasanti Devi Dasi, on Instagram, on Facebook, or her email, vasantidasi@gmail.com. One more very beautiful pastime, or maybe I'll do both. So this is a pastime called Shristi Lila. Shristi means creation, and Lila, you know, means pastime. So this is Krishna's plenary, part of a plenary portion called Mahavishnu, or Karanadakshayi Vishnu. This is Krishna up in Goloka Vrindavan. These are all the Vaikuntha planets, and this is underneath the Mahatattva in the causal ocean, the Karana Jal. And Mahavishnu is breathing in and out innumerable universes. Like for us, like one day, if it's not a good day, we just can't wait till one day's over. But we have 100 years or something like that. So all of our life, our whole life, and the whole universe life, which is trillions and trillions of years, that's only one day of Brahma. But that one day of Brahma, a whole lifetime of Brahma, which is incalculable years, is just one breath of Mahavishnu. In one breath, all the universes come out of his pores, and then as he breathes in, they all go in. That's where we want to be, beyond the world of birth and death. And we want to go up here, don't we? Okay, and last but not least, you know, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna also has a controller who controls his everything, and that is Sri Radha. And Krishna goes through all kinds of endeavors just to get the mercy of Sri Radha, just to get her darshan. So here, he's heard from a parrot that Radharani went to Radhakund to fetch water in her 2 water pots. So, hearing this, Krishna immediately went there, pretending to have just gone there casually. And he said, "Oh, I see that you have 2 big heavy pots. Can I help you with one?" And Sri Radha says, "No, thank you. I'm a chaste married wife, and you're just a debauchee. I'm not interested in talking to you." So the very interesting thing here is that Radha and Krishna are one. Radha is Krishna's Parashakti, his Swarup Shakti, his complete internal potency. And although we hear that Radha is married to Abhimanyu, Abhimanyu is just the shadow of Krishna. And you can say, well, that's, what do you call that? What marital? Extramarital affairs. But even though she's Parakiya, paramour, she's also Swakiya. Swakiya means marriage, but Swakiya means own. Radha is Krishna's own potency. So really, our Srila Prabhupada told us when he visited us in Boston in 1969 that many Indians complained to me, Prabhupada said, that, oh, Krishna has stolen the wives of so many coward men. So then Prabhupada said, no, everyone, you all, have stolen Krishna's wives, because everyone belongs to Krishna. So everything and everyone is meant to be used in Krishna's service. Okay, I'll end my speech there and ask if there's any questions. Or no time for questions, Vasanti says. Vasanti, can you turn that phone towards Vasanti so they can see beautiful Vasanti? So it's Vasanti who to contact about all of the above. Vasanti Dasi Instagram, Vasanti Dasi Facebook, vasantidasi@gmail.com. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Panchakopatarubhyascha kripasindubhye cha, Patitanam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vedic Tales ki jai.